I'm Jennifer Smith. I'm the Superintendent Minister of Wesley's Chapel and Elysian Mission in the City Road Circuit in London. We're here in Wesley's Chapel, which was opened in 1778, and it was built for John Wesley. It's one of the four main heritage sites in British Methodism, and so being a minister here is quite different. Today it's half term, so we have the museum open with reenactment activities. So we have volunteers in costume who are making lace to highlight women's domestic labor in the 18th century and then looking at trafficking and child labor today. They're making food, talk about food inequality and diet. Ministry, oh my goodness, like so many things, 90% of it is just turning up and being willing to be with people in the extremities of their lives, both in joy and in real tragedy, and standing still and gracefully, hopefully, to say, God is here. That's the most exciting part of any minister's role. The kingdom will be coming. For me, the call to presbyteral ministry particularly, that is, word and sacrament and care, is something that's deep in my childhood. When I was in primary school and we played weddings in the schoolyard, I let other girls be the bride or the groom, and I was always the minister, because then I got to make up the vows. And I got to help people do what they needed. I was a teacher, a university lecturer in politics before I came into the ministry. There was one time when I was lecturing about 200 students, undergraduates, and I was talking about the later career of Martin Luther King Jr., and I suddenly realized that everybody had stopped taking notes. And I looked at my watch, and we had gone 10 minutes over the hour, and everybody was still there, and I realized that what I was doing was something other than lecturing. There are two ways to think about the call. One is like those sort of old lottery advertisements that are sort of, it could be you, as if there's some mystical voice, a finger pointing at you. I didn't feel it that way. I felt it more in other people around me saying, hey, have you thought about this? My family and friends pretty much said, finally. I mean, thank goodness you're finally stopped fussing about and doing what you're meant to do. And so I had a real sense of confirmation. My ministry, the great blessing of it has been sometimes in the things that have gone the worst, and then something graceful happens. And so I'm thinking about one time when I was with one of our mission partners in the leprosy colony in southeastern Nigeria, and he got called out in the middle of the night. He was a doctor, and he wanted me to roll start his Peugeot 406, which is a big old car, and I was just by myself in my pants and my vest, and he was shrieking at me out the window, push, 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 and I thought, wow, this is not what I thought ministry was going to be like, and that's what ministry's like. My hope for ministry is that we have more ministers from different backgrounds, people with different kinds of education, people who've grown up in different parts of the country and of the world, and people believe that God has put something in their hearts to offer the church. That would be my real hope. I always say to people, if there's anything you can do to avoid going into ordained ministry, avoid it, because it's not a glamorous job. It's a lot of cleaning toilets. It's a lot of mediating disputes that you probably didn't think were important to begin with. It's graft. And it's graft when you're tired and when you haven't been home all day, and it's hard. And if you can't avoid it, then grab it with both hands, because there's nothing better. There's no better way of life. And it's just immensely satisfying to be with people and serve them.